Suicide Squad was released in 2016, directed by David Ayer, and stars Margot Robbie, Will Smith, Jai Courtney, Joel Kinnaman, Jared Leto, Viola Davis, and many more. This movie has a pretty big cast. And it tells the story of a group of criminals in Arkham Asylum who are assigned a task to take out this big Superman level threat in order to get time off their sentence. Okay, so Suicide Squad, the 2016 one. You know, a lot has been said about this movie. I know some people like it, some people hate it. And I bet you're wondering, which side am I on? Even though there are things, a few, like a handful of things, that I like about this movie is pretty fucking bad. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, this movie's pretty bad. But let's get to my positives, shall we? Will Smith and Margot Robbie are the best parts of this movie. I thought they were excellent in their roles. Will Smith, you know, even though he's just being Will Smith the whole time, he brought a lot of charm and charisma to the character of Deadshot. And also, I really liked his story too. I thought his story, like his backstory and whatnot, was very compelling, and you can definitely see his motivation as he's like doing this mission for Amanda Waller. And Harley Quinn, you know, she's the bright spot of this movie. I thought Margot Robbie really fucking portrayed the character with absolute fucking grace, and I absolutely loved every second that she was on screen. I thought Margot Robbie was the perfect Harley Quinn. She is Harley Quinn in live action form. I thought she did a great job, and I thought the performance she gave as the character was way too good for this movie. What else could I say? There were a few good action scenes. Like, there are some action scenes where I'm like, holy shit, this is actually pretty fun. Oh, another character I forgot to mention, Diablo. I thought his character had one of the most compellingly tragic stories I have ever seen in a superhero movie. When I saw that, I was like, how come the movie couldn't have more of this? Like, seriously, this movie could have used a lot more of that, and it would have been so much better. Thanks, Warner Brothers, for taking that away from us. Anyways, yeah, some of the action scenes I thought were quite fun. And there are some visuals here and there that are pretty okay. Even though the soundtrack is it's misused a lot, I do like the soundtrack. You know, there's a lot of good songs in this movie soundtrack, even though it's debatable if they were really necessary for a lot of scenes. Okay. Let's get to the negatives, shall we? Oh boy. This movie has no focus at all. It'll just it'll go to like the plot of its mission, and then all of a sudden it'll just cut back to like Harley Quinn and Joker stuff just out of nowhere. It was very jarring the way it would just cut to the plot and then cut to suddenly we're getting Harley Quinn and Joker's story. It was very fucking jarring, and holy shit. Oh yeah, speaking of jarring, the fucking editing. The editing in this movie is absolutely atrocious. But I mean, what did you expect when they got a studio that edits trailers to edit this movie? What the fuck? Jared Leto's Joker. Even though he barely has any screen time, I thought he was awful as the character. I know a lot of people have said that, and I know some people that like Jared Leto's Joker. I don't see how anybody could like Jared Leto's Joker. His portrayal of the Joker was irritating, obnoxious, and not even remotely close to the Joker as a character. How I describe Joker in this movie as a douche. He's basically an annoying douchebag with a lot of tattoos. That's the Joker in this movie. And then and even though I do like some of the action in this movie, there's other times where the action is so CGI heavy, and the CGI heavy action scenes are the the CGI in them is so fucking awful that it made you look like you were watching a fucking PS2 game. And also, especially the final act was not exciting. It felt very uneventful, and it ended so quickly where I was like, I didn't feel fulfilled at all. Um, there's also the lack of character development in this movie. The only characters that are developed in this movie are Harley Quinn, Deadshot, and Diablo. Well, I guess you get a little bit of Enchantress, the main villain of this movie. Everything else is just, oh, I guess you just kind of got to explain what they do, and boom, that's the end of it. Like, what the fuck? And this movie wastes the movie wastes the first 20 minutes just explaining to you about these characters, just spoon feeding you this information instead of just, showing you and not telling. I mean, this movie does both. It shows and tells. Just spoon feeding you everything. Like, just show us. We'll get the memo with the visual storytelling. You don't have to spoon feed us this information. Like, this movie is just treating us like fucking idiots. Also, the villain of this movie, Enchantress. What a fucking joke. She's basically a ripoff of Zool from Ghostbusters. Like, seriously, all she does is, she just, looks like she's in this weird ass fucking outfit sort of thing, and just hula dances around non-stop. And she's got this, supposed to be her brother or something, but just acting like an idiot, like a fucking brain dead person or some shit. It is baffling. Fuck. Also, Rick Flag as a character. Even though, spoiler alert, he's a lot better in the second movie. In this one, all he is just some generic military guy barking orders at everybody. That's it for his character. Jesus Christ. So am I able to recommend Suicide Squad to people who haven't seen it? No. I'll recommend the second one, which I'm reviewing later on, probably in a couple weeks. But stay away from this one. It's not worth your time. It's 2 hours of just fucking bullshit as far as I'm concerned. Yes, there is a few things I liked about Suicide Squad, but it is a very horribly edited, very boring too. Like, there's like, despite like some of the fun action, there's just long stretches of this movie that are just fucking boring. It has a terrible Joker, mostly terrible characterization. It's not a good movie by any stretch of the word. It is one of the worst films in the DCEU, in my opinion. Thankfully, the next one I am reviewing is a lot better than this. I am going to give Suicide Squad a D.